settle down. And I didn't even get to a song, man. I'm sitting here making excuses of I've been sick and stopped up here lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Did you get
Say,
it taken care of?
no, because I can't find it.
All good. Well, if you need it again, it's totally good, man. We'll make it work.
Yeah, it's all good.
Taste of the guitar sound nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. How are you, man?
I'm great, man. I'm great, brother. I'm blessed, man. I couldn't ask for a better life, brother. I get to hang out with people like you all the time, man. What
I don't know if that's a
what
good
could
thing or a bad thing, but
what I mean, dude, I love musicians, man. I always have. I just relate to you guys. I don't know why. Just always have.
well,
You guys are a different breed, but I love you.
you are. But
I
it's
get
good.
some people are like, man, musicians are just kind of weird, and I'm like, I don't get that vibe. I'm good. I understand them. I get it. Maybe I'm weird too. I don't know.
They always say never meet your heroes, man, when it comes to the entertainment business. And it goes to say, a lot of people are a little bit different and a lot different than you think they really are in person. So I totally get it.
That's right. That's right, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming in, man. I know you've been busy. You just got off of a little short tour not too long ago. You did a writers festival right after that, and just kind of wrapping up the year, man. It's been a great year for you, huh?
It has been, man. It sure has. We've was blessed enough to hit a festival this past summer in Wisconsin, which was a lot of fun. We were on the Country Thunder Festival, full band for that, and it was really cool. Got a call last minute to go play the main stage, which was pretty awesome.
Nice.
For where I'm at in my career, and right after that, jumped on tour, like you said, up the East Coast, doing a benefit for Lymphoma and Leukemia Society. And that was a pretty fulfilling tour, man. We raised, I think the final number was almost $80,000 for leukemia and lymphoma. So it was me and songwriter
Nice.
who wrote a lot of classic country hits from hits with Alabama, Jukebox on My Mind, to a lot of other folks as well, man. And it was just a really fulfilling time. We were out for I think it was almost 8 weeks
Nice.
from Ocala, Florida, all the way up to Frederick, Maryland, and hit all the
Yeah.
Carolinas. It's crazy because all the storms came through and
Yeah.
they hit every town right after we were there. So it was kind
Wow.
of wild, but still prayers to all those people. I know they're still devastated and still really struggling out that way. I've got a lot of friends that are out there helping right now. So just prayers for them still, because it's
Yes.
a lot going
Yeah.
on.
Definitely. Yeah. It's there's still a lot of people going through a hard time with it, and it's anything and everything anybody can do to help is great, man, and much appreciated. And God's gonna bless you for it, man. That's amazing, man. I didn't know. I knew you were on tour. I didn't know it was for a benefit
Yeah, for sure.
for that. And but yeah, the storm thing, man, was horrible. And so I know there's been a lot of benefit concerts and stuff for that. You got any plans to do anything for that, or you just kind of?
Not in the books right now. Everything that we had, like I said, was kind of exhausted for that
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah.
And we did all that we were able to do.
Yeah.
I have been a part of
Budgets.
some stuff that's local to be able to kind of give back and raise some money for the things. But as far as being there in person, no, haven't been able to. But
Right on.
like I said, I've got a lot of close friends that are out there. So we've
Yeah,
sent
a lot of big names are getting involved and helping out. So, Al Dean Gilbert, Eric Church, all those guys are really coming together and making things happen. So thank God for them.
I agree.
Glad they're able in a position to where they can, give back and help and, help raise money and stuff for like that. So, but, what in the world is going on my screen here? So, man, we'll jump right into questions if you want, man. As you know, all month long, I've been kind of doing a tribute for men's health awareness,
Love that.
mental health awareness as well. Because I mean, to me, they seem to go hand in hand. When as a person in general, if you have a lot of stress and anxiety in your life, it can cause illnesses. And Willie Nelson's talked about that. I watched an interview with him. He's talking about worrying and stress and how much it puts on your body, and it causes it can wake up cancer cells and things like that, man. So so mental health does go hand in hand with physical health as well. Back June 30th of last year, we lost one of my best friends here, Bryce Hitchcock. to cancer. And he gave it the good fight, man. He was in remission for a little while, and it came back with a vengeance. And I've had his boys on the show with me a couple times this month, and talk a little bit about their dad and everything. And Brace was kind of my mentor in the media industry, kind of kept me going. And there was a point in my life just right before he actually died that I was ready just to give it all up, man. I was frustrated. I was done. And he was that strong suit for me, and that person to lean into, and he convinced me to stick with it. And so I feel like that this podcast is really kind of, part of his legacy too. And so big, you can see him there with Joe Bomanassa. He called me that day when he got his guitar signed, and he was super excited. And I am revolved around music, so I have to use a photo that's got a music star in it. So, man, if nobody knows who Joe Bomanassa is, then you need to go get a history lesson.
That is true. One of the best.
Yes. If not the. He's taught a lot of people, man. But talking about you and your music and everything, like what inspired you? What made you want to become a musician?
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm from Alabama originally, actually here right now at my folks' house, visiting for Thanksgiving. Currently living in Nashville now, but down here in Alabama, and from this way, man, was here for all of my life, and went from high school to graduate from the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and then moved up to Nashville shortly after that. And man, growing up, I was raised in church. I was raised Southern Baptist and singing the hymns and leading worship in church, and you kind of conversed about that a little bit, and it was kind of a thing, man. It's where I got started, so I've always had those gospel roots.
Yeah.
But after that, I got to college and started getting into things like the blues and different things like that, man, and started playing the bars around town, and doing shows around Tuscaloosa, and then that just kind of led into me really wanting to just do my own thing and start writing my own music, and get to a point where I am now in Nashville, where I'm writing and recording my own music. But as far as influences go, it all started with the gospel, and still have those roots as well, and to a sound that we're calling now Southern Soul. So that's where I'm at with that.
Cool. Yeah, I try to describe to people, your music style a lot of times, and it's that I put that Southern soul in there, with the man, like there's a little bit of swing in there in some of your songs too. Like it's kind of its own style almost. Some of your songs, not all of them, but yeah, dude, I dig it, man. When I ran across your profile, dude, I was like, I love this guy already, man. Let's go. And then I hit you up, and you responded, and here we are. Let's see here. Drop my deal. What instruments did you play in high school?
Man, I've always played guitar. My brother played guitar, and he started when he was 13 or 14 years old, and never had a lesson. He kind of taught himself. He was a lot more introverted than I was, and all over the place. But I knew that music was something that I loved, and obviously, I looked up to him. So I definitely wanted to, follow in his footsteps and play the guitar. So I got him to show me a couple of chords, and went from there. And I played a piano a little bit, took a few piano lessons, but also play harmonica as well. To get by a little bit, but yeah, it's always been mainly guitar for me. But when I'm writing and things like that, I love to sit down at a piano and just get a different sound for sure.
Right on. Yeah. So piano and guitar, is that the only thing you play?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any hobbies outside of music?
Man, I actually have a full-time job.
Full-time
job since so not necessarily a hobby, but it definitely is.
How the hell do you do that and tour, man?
I wish I had that answer for myself as well, man. It's tough. I actually work from home, which is great. I started with the company that I work for. It's a corporate company, and been working for them for the past 7 years. Started in Nashville. working 70 hours a week, actually, physically at the company working. And the past 3 years have been able to do it remote. So I'm able to take my laptop and work on the road, which is great. But it's also, a lot. And going back to what you're talking about, mental health, it's things that I have to kind of keep a check on. Music is my passion and what I really want to do. I don't bring up my day job to many people, but it funds what I want to do as an artist. And everyone, man, you'll talk to several artists, which you have, and everyone's got a different story. Everybody's got a different path of what's getting them there, what they're doing. A lot of people maybe waiting tables, doing whatever, but everybody's got a means of grinding it out, man.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that I have to, kind of stop. I've always dealt with mental health issues as far as depression, anxiety, things like that, like you were stating. So, I do have to watch myself. Sometimes I do have to slow down. It's really funny because I've been out for the past, it's been 6 or 7 months. And then I come here to my folks' house here in Alabama and try to relax for a day, and everything just kind of crashed in on me, man. And I've been dealing with trying to get over a head cold or whatever it is for the past week now. And I've just needed the rest. And it is important for us, and kind of getting back to what we were talking about earlier, man, it's important to rest. And I have to remind myself of that, because when I rest, I start to kind of sit with myself, and I don't like to sit with myself. I don't like to be alone. I love being out and being amongst people and conversing with people and just being around people. So whenever I'm sitting there and trying to rest or relax, man, I just feel like I'm missing out on something. And I've built a life to where I'm constantly, I'm working, 9 to 5 during the day, and then I get off and I'm either, going to write, or I'm going to a show or doing whatever it may be. So I'm just constantly going. So it does, I do have to stop sometimes, man, and just kind of breathe. To answer your question, how do I do that and balance that? It's tough, but
it is.
do it as long as I can, for sure.
It is. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I launched this thing, right about 2 months ago, man, I had no idea it was going to get as big as it did so fast, and I'm booked up to April already, and it's crazy to think that. And it's a lot of the same thing, man. I have a full-time job.
Yeah.
I would love to do this full-time. So a lot of similarities, but I'm the same way, man. I get so wrapped in my work that I'd forget to rest, and then I get sick or what. Yeah. So I can totally relate 100%, man. It sounds like you and I are kind of alike, man. If you want me to, bro, I have all of your top songs on my playlist. That I have a playlist that I use when I just go on my normal lives, not doing interviews, that I play the artists that I am going to work with or already have worked with. And so if you'd rather just me play your songs, and we can do that. And see if you're not,
I'm good. I'll try to make it through at least one.
Okay.
I definitely don't want to be a dud here. So we're good.
Yeah. If you got one that means something to you, that kind of helps you get through some of your mental stuff sometimes, you can throw that down if you want. We'll sit here and enjoy it for a few minutes.
Yeah, man. I'll do one that's pretty near and dear to my heart. I don't pull it out much. It was funny we're bringing this up and talking about this, but I'm about to put out a new album. I released an EP back in 2020. It was kind of a closure thing for me from a breakup that I was in a 4-year relationship and went through. After that, I got into the studio and started to lay down a bunch of songs that I just kind of wanted to help shape my sound. So we went down to Muscle Shoals, to Fame Studios, and had an absolute blast. We spent a week there, recorded this new album, and it's titled Mindful Man, actually. So it's all the songs kind of encompass me, just kind of, not necessarily treating relationships right in the past, and just becoming more of a better human, man, and a more mindful man of where I'm at in my relationships, not just, relationships with girlfriends or anything, but just,
in general,
brotherhood as well, man, and just with my family and everything else, and just being very intentional and in just keeping in mind just to be more of a mindful person. But this is a song that I was going to put on the album, but ended up kind of being one that we omitted last minute for several reasons. But I think I'm going to make it more of a special deal coming up. But I released a couple of videos here on social media of it, and kind of took off a little bit, but it's a song called "Come Out Angel." And I don't like to sit and talk about songs because I really like for the listener to kind of interpret it to be what they want it to be. But since we're on this topic, I had a buddy that passed away a couple of years back, and he dealt with mental health issues, and he passed away from addiction. Things that he used to cope from those anxieties, from that depression, and things like that. And he was such an amazing guy, one of the best guitar players, one of the best musicians I've ever met in my whole entire life. Played with some huge names on the road, man. And it's just a shame, that he lost his life to such a deceitful thing as addiction. Addiction comes in different shapes and forms for a lot of people. It could be addiction to something small, to food. You know what I mean? We're not always talking about drugs. We say addiction, and a lot of times that's the first thing that comes to mind. Unfortunately, that's what his was, drugs and alcohol. But still, man, it was.
Sorry for your loss, man.
Well, it is what it is, but we learn from that, and I write songs from that too, which is kind of a beautiful thing, and it's a way of allowing me to allow him to last in kind of a selfish way, I guess to say. But this song called "Come Out Angel." Come to me softly in a whisper song. Why you hold back, why you take so long? Why the skies in Alabama have to turn so gray? Whiskey lost its bite, it don't kill the pain. It just ain't the same. So come out, angel, from your hiding place. Come out, angel, I need your grace. Lord knows I've missed you, and I see you late at night sometimes, and I can't help myself to take another sip of your wine. I can't help myself to help pass the time. Well, I left home with a pocket full of rhymes. I met a hell of a woman, but she took my pride. My bed was soft, but my dreams grew bare. It's not the end of the world, I can see it from here. It just ain't the same. So come out, angel, from your hiding place. Come out, angel, I need your grace. Lord knows I've missed you, and I see you late at night sometimes, and I can't help myself to take another sip of your wine. Well, I can't help myself to help pass the time. Yes, so shine a light on me, clear and bright, so I can see this road I've traveled on. Yeah, when my sight was strong, so call my name. This shattered image that I saw for so long held the missing piece that made me strong. Man, take all I have, take everything. Yeah, 'cause when I'm gone, I trust you'll make it sing. So come out, angel, from your hiding place. Oh, come out, angel, I need your grace. Lord knows I've missed you, and I see you late at night sometimes, and I can't help myself to take another sip of your wine. Well, I can't help myself to help pass the time. Yeah, man.
Yeah, brother, that's deep, man. That's deep. Uh, I think the part that stood out the most to me was the missing piece in my heart. Like that resonates with me because this piece right here is what's been missing from my heart for so long.
Right.
I've found my joy again, and I don't know. I haven't really told you much of my story, and I don't want to go into a lot of my story because of your time. But years ago, I was a radio DJ, and my heart was for new musicians. I was a part of a show called the Underdog Show, and when that radio station was sold, man, it crushed all the DJs. Man, we were all let go, and it was a tough thing. So I've had this hole in my heart for years over that, man. So that kind of resonated with me a little bit. Uh, just that piece missing, you know. Sometimes
Yep.
when we have that piece missing, that void in our heart, we try to fill it with drugs, alcohol, any kind of addiction, really. Sometimes, not all the time, but it helps out for sure.
You're right. Man, I can barely hear you now. I don't know if it's something that I did whenever I was singing, but it's like it's coming through my earpiece now instead of the speaker. 1 second.
No, somebody else said something. They said something they couldn't hear me either. This soundboard has been on the fritz, man.
There it is.
There are you. This soundboard's been on the fritz.
Whatever just happened. Fix
Yeah,
it.
no, it's my soundboard. I got a new one coming Friday, so
I saw your gold pop up there.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, for those that didn't hear me, you know, sometimes, you know, that void in your heart, that missing piece, that's where we get in trouble, because we try to fill that void with things that we shouldn't sometimes, and that's how we fall into addiction and things like that. So that's what I was saying. But yeah, beautiful song, brother, man. I appreciate that.
Let me share it.
Yes, I'm glad you did share it.
Gent Jones, how are you, man? Sorry, seeing some folks coming in. Y'all go check out Gent Jones. He's an amazing guy.
Yeah, I think I follow him. I'm sure. If I don't, I do now.
There you go.
I didn't. Thought I did. I've heard that name. So describe your favorite part of being a musician, and then your least favorite part.
Man, I'd say probably my favorite part about being a musician is getting to do what I love. I know that's probably a cliche answer, but it's a way for me. You know, sometimes it's hard for me to sit and talk and express myself, but whenever I can sit down with my guitar and sing you a song that truly, you know, it expresses the way that I feel, there's just something to that, you know, I can't get from anything. You know, back to what we were talking about filling voids, man. It's a therapy for me, and that's probably my favorite thing about it. My least favorite thing about it is the newfound ways that we have to be on social media now these days and be promoting ourselves and staying on it, stay within algorithms and things like that. I could go on for hours, but it's
the same here, man. I know exactly what you're saying.
It's soul sucking for sure, and you know, having to stay to where you stay relevant in an app. You know, I want to do for my fans, and I want to be there for that, and I want to release music, but I don't want to be made to have to do something to stay relevant, and that's what's difficult for me, man.
It's almost like like at some point I'm going to have to hire somebody to do some stuff. Like it's too much, and so my little network that I've developed on Discord. Not every musician I work with is in there, but a lot of them are, because I kind of serve a little bit of a support system on the back side of things as well. Yeah. But that's one of the things we all talk about is like, man, so many hoops we have to jump through as musicians or media personality or you know, comedians, any kind of entertainer really has to do it. We have to do it, or we don't. I mean, it's just the world we live in now. Exactly
right. And you know, I could you know, moan and complain about it all day long, but it is what it is, and we have to do it. But you asked, so no. If we have to, I mean,
at 100%. If we want to follow our dreams and our passion, then this is it. This is the world we live in, 100%. So,
but what a great way that people that may not have the means to get out and be touring and stuff have been able to break using social media. So definitely positives to it, and not knocking it for other folks. I'm just personally, it's been a difficult thing for me.
It's just mentally draining to try to keep up with everything sometimes.
And it makes it not as intentional sometimes for me. It's like, oh, well, I'm just posting a video because I have to. I don't want to feel that way. I don't feel that way at all. I want to post when I want to post and make it be meaningful. I don't want to post to stay relevant in an algorithm so all my fans will be able to see me.
I was talking to somebody today, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, but I'm waiting for the day that this is not my main platform. Like I see, because there's so many hoops even on here you have to jump through. They want you to go live so many hours a day, and you got to do battles, and you got to. I mean, there's just things that you have to do to keep the algorithm moving, and that's what I don't want to be confounded to. So I have started a Spotify account, and I'm working that way. My new soundboard going all digital is going to help with other stuff that I got to do to get to that point, because I eventually want to go. To where I can actually do interviews in person as well. So I'm going to have a camera system and everything here in the studio, my home studio.
Where are you based?
Say what?
Where are you based out of?
I'm in Oklahoma right now, but the beauty about it is I can take it anywhere. Like in June, the first week of June, CMA Fest, I'm going to Nashville for a week. We're going to be doing 1 to 2 interviews a day for the whole week. In Brother Joe's studio in Nashville, and it's going to be fully video produced and everything. And hopefully a couple of the artists that I'm working with might be performing in CMA, hopefully. So that might even give me the opportunity to go out and announce them, and because we're kind of my little network, and hopefully some of them get a spot in CMA Fest. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. So yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Especially as a podcaster like me, and being, the passion that I have for you guys, being able to go up on stage and introduce one of you would be just phenomenal. I'd love it. So
cool. Well, please hit me up when you're in town. I'd love to see you. I know you'll be slammed, but.
Well, I'm bringing the wife, and I don't plan on working the whole time because it'll be the first time I've been in Nashville. So I do plan on enjoying it some and hanging out with people and having some fun. So, but yeah, definitely will. Sarah Beth Brewer is one of the artists I work closely with, and she's actually one of the ones trying to get a spot in CMA Fest. So I don't know if I was supposed to say that or not, but she might be like, "Don't tell everybody that yet."
She's not trying. So,
but no, great person. If you don't know her or don't follow her, she's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
She's on there, actually, yeah.
My tablet keeps turning off up here. I gotta keep having to. So, kind of had just a few general questions, and next I kind of want to go into like experience and background. We can play a song, or you can sing another one if you want before we go into that, or it's entirely up to you. This is kind of your time. So.
Oh, you're good, man. If you want to play one, that'd be awesome.
Sorry, any particular one you want to play?
No, go ahead.
I think this one right here is the one that caught my attention when I very first saw. Like, I was just scrolling through social media, and this is how I found you. So we're gonna play this one here. This one's called "Cry Baby." See if I can get some volume. You guys, let me know, because until I get my new soundboard, I'm having to control the volume by the tablet here. Good.
My shoulder's getting tired of the tears falling on me, and my heart hurts when yours breaks in two. Oh, but how many times until you realize that a guy like him don't deserve an angel like you? So please don't cry.
Just cut out.
And you'll never cry, baby, if you were my baby. So come on and be my baby tonight. Give those pretty blue eyes a rest. They gotta be clear so you can see who's been here for you all along. Yeah, these arms will hold you tight and make everything alright. You'll finally feel you're right where you belong. Yeah, so please don't cry, baby. Won't you be my baby? The way he treats you, oh, it just ain't right. And you never cry, baby, if you were my baby. So come on and be my baby tonight. Oh, please don't cry, baby. Won't you be my baby? Cause the way he treats you, oh, it just ain't right. And you'll never cry, baby, if you were my baby. Yeah, so come on and be my baby tonight. Yeah, please don't cry, baby. Won't you be my baby? The way he treats you, oh, it just ain't right. You'll never cry, baby, if you were my baby. Oh, now come on, girl, and be my baby tonight. Oh, come on, girl, and be my baby tonight. Come on, man. Won't you be mine? Oh, won't you be mine? Come on, be my baby tonight, yeah. Won't you be mine? Why don't you be mine? Come on, won't you be my baby tonight? Oh, won't you be mine? Yeah, won't you be mine? Come on, won't you be my baby?
That soul, man. Good God. That is the song that turned me on to you. Like, I'm scrolling through, and I think you had just started a TikTok. Like, what you hadn't been on long.
Yeah.
When I hit, and you were like, "Man, I just started that TikTok." And I actually hit you up on Instagram, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. That's right. That's the one I was like, you got this Crybaby song. You guys got to hear it, because it's like I could totally see a bunch of people out there swing dancing to that, man. It's just so freaking. I love it, man. I love it.
You know, funny story about that tune. And by the way, I will try to sing the next one, because I can't sit and listen to myself like that. But a buddy of mine, Dan Hudson, is who I wrote that song with. And I walked in and he said, "Man, I got an idea for a song called Cry Baby." I said, "Ain't no way." I said, "I'm not writing a song called Cry Baby, and especially not putting it on my album." And he was like, "Just hear me out. Just hear me out." And he told me the thing. And man, it's a feeling of it from the get-go, man. It was just a super simple song. And, you know, my producer, Jay Took, we went into the studio, and what he added to that, man, was just pretty awesome and a lot of fun. That one's always fun to do live. So that's one of my favorites.
That's what I was going to say. Is it not only is it unique, is the word that Sarah just used, but you said simple, but it is fun. I mean, that song is just fun. Like,
Well, thank you, man.
and it looked like you had a good time making the video too, man.
Oh, yeah. Always a good time with that.
Yeah, that's great, man. So what do you what inspired you to no, I don't want to ask that one, because I kind of already asked something similar to that. Describe that's the one I was looking for. Describe your creative process when you're writing new music. What does that look like?
Oh, back to the mental health thing, man. You know, I'm not a solo writer that much. I get in my head way too much. I love to have someone, at least one other person in the room, to bounce things off of. Always been a thing of mine ever since. You know, my very first song I ever wrote was Phoenix. I actually released that. That one's on Spotify. I released that back in college, and a buddy of mine that I was in class with's dorm room, and we produced that and put it out. And it was the only song I ever wrote by myself. and just kind of really, really big emotional time when I, just started a relationship. And I was like, man, there's something to this writing thing. And every time after that, man, I just, I've written songs by myself. Don't get me wrong, but my ideal creative thing is to get into a room and write with someone else. As far as processes go, I like it to be pretty open, to be honest with you. I don't like putting restrictions or rules or anything. I don't have my own rules of, what I go into a room and do. I like to kind of fill the other person out. I mean, obviously you have to have some sort of boundary as far as, what you're writing about and things like that. But as far as, sitting down, I have to have this, have to have that. I'm not really huge on that and don't really have that. It's just kind of how we feel in the moment and kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
But, the whole Nashville thing is, kind of getting co-writes planned, and everything is strategic now, man. And it's for me in my career where I'm at. When I first started out, I was writing with absolutely anyone in town. If I would go to a writer's round and be like, yeah, man, let's write. It was just the thing to say, and it still is in Nashville. But as time goes on, they say that Nashville's a 10-year town, and it's whenever I first got to Nashville, I was like, man, there's no way that things don't start sparking before 10 years, and here I am running up on year 8 and just now starting to, start seeing some traction, but traction is in, me knowing who I am now and what I'm aiming to do. A lot of time, I'm not even gonna say time wasted. There's just a lot of time that you spend trying to find that.
Yeah.
Especially in a big town such as Nashville or anything like that, man. It's just you're trying to find who you are. You're trying not to necessarily, blend in with absolutely everybody that is doing, the same thing in town, because you don't want to be just another number. I love to have a different sound. That's always been something that I've strived to do, but also at the same time, it gets difficult because people that you shop things around to, like I've shopped my record around to some labels and things like that. And they're like, man, this is, I enjoy what we listen to, but I don't know what to do with this. I don't know where to put this. And that gets really frustrating.
That's wild though. I mean, because your energetic style, man, you would think that that blows my mind that you've even been told that.
Well, also too, man, it's a lot of things like, the thing that I'm battling with now is just getting back in the room and writing, better songs, and, not necessarily downing my songs that I've already got, but we grow as songwriters, we grow as musicians,
Right.
we grow as human beings. And, I'm looking forward to this next project to be, stronger than the last. If we don't have that in mind and that be our mindset, then what are we doing anyway? Just to be better than we were yesterday. So that's kind of where I'm at now. But to get back to your question, my creative process is just getting in the room, getting intentional writes down with people that I know that I'm going to be able to get something, because we obviously have some chemistry in the past and they understand me, they get me to where I'm not, necessarily, I don't like to use this phrase, but wasting time is truly it. I've got my people that I love to write with, that I know that it works, that I know get me, that I know the path that I want to be on. And man, I'm just try to stick to that now and get more of a routine going, if that answers that.
Yeah, 100%, man, and that's great. I can actually, I can see that. I can see that. So I dabble a little bit in writing, but I'm a little bit different. Like mine's more like I wake up in the middle of the night with a hook in my head, and then I have to text it to my wife or something, or write it down so I don't lose it. But I've got 2 songs I'm working on right now with Wyatt Zane, a local artist here. That's that same way. I had a hook in my head and I couldn't get rid of it. I couldn't go to sleep until I wrote it down. And then I shared it with him, and he was like, "Well, let's do it, man." He goes, "I can relate to both of those. Let's go." So him and I are in our time when he has a job right now. It's hard for him to get away, but he's changing after the first of the year. So I'm hoping that with that new job, it looks like him and I are going to get a lot more time together to be able to work on some music, right? So I totally get it, man, and I can see that because I feel like that's the way he is a lot too. Is in me coming up with some hooks and his creative process being like yours. He's like, he knows the people he can sit down and write with, and that's awesome, man. It's good stuff.
And good for you. That's awesome. I love that. And back to, the whole mindful thing and mental health awareness, it's therapy, man. It truly
Yeah,
is. It's
it
the same
is.
as journaling. It's the same as writing something down, whether you're writing a poem or a song. That's
Yeah.
what, I found myself for so long getting so wrapped up in is like, oh man, this isn't the right structure. This isn't how it should be able to be going, and
Yeah.
screw all that. Like, you ain't worried about all that, man. It's just
Yeah.
get your ideas down. We'll shape it and form it later on. And that's why I like to have someone too that I'm bouncing ideas off of, because that truly helps with that creative process too.
Yeah, it does. This would blow your mind when I tell you this, but I actually started out writing spoken word.
That's awesome.
Like one of my best friends he's actually now the full-time DJ for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
That's cool.
And he used to do spoken word all the time in his younger years, man. I remember concert after concert, when I did a lot of concert promotions back in the day. I will tell you, he was my biggest influence when I started doing that. And then it just kind of evolved into, coming up with hooks and things like that. So, yeah, I get it, man, 100%. This one gets a lot of people, man. A lot of people are like, "Oh man, I can't believe you just asked that." Did I send you this list of questions? I hope I did. Who's your ideal musician to collaborate with, and why?
Collaborate with? Wow, good one. Oh man,
maybe I didn't send you these.
No, you know what? You may have, man. This week has been pretty wild, but it's okay. I like to kind of be on the spot a little bit.
A little challenge.
I think too much about it when I'm not. You know what? It might be a really whatever. I've got a lot of influences over the years. One of them that I would like to collaborate now, and it's honestly, if you would have asked me this a while back, he's one of my biggest influences of newer, music, and that would be John Mayer, for sure. But as far as him and where he is now in his career and what he's done, the different styles that he's experimented with, the open mindedness that he has for music and things like that. He's actually collaborating with a lot of people now in different realms. I mean, he's done stuff with Zach Bryan and different things. I don't know if I can say his name these days, but with different people, man. And
the hat company that makes these are actually from the same town as Zach. Cool. So yeah.
So man, I might say John Mayer at this point in his career. It'd be really cool to do that, just because of I've always loved his creative process and in the way that that he goes from album to album and tries different concepts, just like a lot of people used to do in the day, like Elton John and people like that wanted to try more of a Western sound or something like that. They're not scared to do it.
I love it, man, because back in the day when I actually did the concert promotions, it was a mixture of music, man. There was no set genre for the music for the concert. It was great. It was like if we were doing country, we might have a rapper come out and open up, man. It was nuts back then to think of people doing that. Now I see it all the time. So I was like, man, I was like a pioneer for that, man. What? This is crazy. Like seeing it nowadays, I'm like, man, I was doing that back in the freaking 90s, man. Late 90s, early 2000s, but yeah. So that's kind of cool, man. I think Meyer would be a good collaboration with you, for sure. So we kind of talked about your inspirations quite a bit. What's been your favorite venue to perform at to date?
Man. Oh, I would say to date probably be this summer in Wisconsin for that Country Thunder band. It was just a big booming stage, big huge screen behind us, man. It was just never had that feeling before of just being on a stage that big. As far as intimacy goes and just being kind of a place that I've always enjoyed playing, there's a hole in the wall place in Nashville that has always been one of my favorite bars there and venues to play, and it's called Doc Holidays, and it's really small place. It's down on 2nd Avenue in Nashville, man, and there's really nothing like it just because of how kind of intimate it is to sit there and play. There's no stage. You're really literally under a staircase, but the amount of people that I've met that have come through that bar and sat right in front of me on those bar stools and being able to just sit and talk to them has truly just kind of shaped me and as an entertainer and things like that, especially since I moved to Nashville. They gave me one of my first gigs there in town. So that one's kind of always special to me in my heart, and definitely a place to check out if you're in town, and you'll know exactly what I mean.
No, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm gonna go check it out because I love that too. I mean, like, my thing is like I love all genres, man. I don't really have a set genre, but if I had a set genre, it would be acoustic, intimate setting style. Yeah. Whether it's acoustic, country, pop, whatever. I just love that intimate setting, man. It's just something that I've always been just magnetized to. So, yeah, I get it 100%. You got another song for us?
Yeah, man. I can do that.
Sure. Let's do it.
Let's see. One called Hold On Savannah, man. This was the first single that I put out for this new album. Crybaby's actually on the new album as well, that'll be out in January. But yeah, this is Hold On.
I love this one. That's a good one, yeah.
The dawn is breaking. There's a suitcase by the door. The leaving's hanging heavy, and old dogs wearing out the floor. This life is what I've wanted, but it's still hard for me to go. But baby, don't you worry, 'cause I'll be back before you know. I said, now hold on, Savannah. Savannah, won't you hold on for me? Hold on, Savannah. Oh, I'm gonna miss you desperately. Yeah, the road that's taking me away has been a hard road to hoe. So hold on, Savannah. Yeah, Savannah, don't you let me go. Yeah, Savannah, don't let me go. Well, I'm humming down the highway. Another night, another no-name town. This old silver Argo ain't the only thing breaking down. Yeah, the Georgia line's behind me. Yeah, my headlights are headed south. Oh, I'm running in the right direction. No, it won't be too long now. I said, now hold on, Savannah. Savannah, won't you hold on for me? Hold on, Savannah. Oh, I've missed you desperately. Yeah, the road that's taking me away has been a hard road to hoe. So hold on, Savannah. Yeah, Savannah, don't you let me go. Savannah, don't let me go. Every river that I cross, every breeze that I come to, yeah, leaves me right there waiting, right back home with you, yeah. And I said, now hold on, Savannah. Savannah, hold on for me. Hold on, Savannah. Oh, I've missed you desperately. Yeah, the road that's taking me away has been a hard road to hoe. Hold on, Savannah. Yeah, Savannah, don't you let me go. Yeah, Savannah, don't let me go.
Yeah, man.
Heck yeah, bro. Heck yeah. Let's go. Yeah, that one's one of my favorites to play when I'm streaming.
Appreciate it. Sorry, y'all. Once again, I've been battling a cold, so it's
all good, dude. You're doing great, man. If I could sing half that good, I mean, I can't sing that good when I'm not sick.
Thank you, man.
Man, I'm going to ask you kind of a weird one, man, and you don't have to answer if you want to. It's not personal, but because I don't get into personal questions. But
Good.
This is describe your worst performance and what did you learn from that experience?
You know, to not
hopefully it's something you can look back on and laugh now.
Oh, always. Now the bride and groom probably can't, but I can for sure. So I've played a lot of weddings, man, and whenever I first got started, you know, when I was in high school, I just loved music. I loved entertainment. I didn't, you know, necessarily know how to jump into a sort of a playing live scene or have enough, you know, covers and things to go play live. So I DJ'd, and that was kind of my thing. And I traveled around, had a little business when I was in high school and early years of college, and man, I DJ'd a lot of weddings, and then I got into doing that, and people would call me and say, "Hey, you still DJ?" And I need somebody from weddings. Like, no, I actually do live music now. I'll come and play. So, man, one of my I would say probably the third one in that I actually went to go playing. I learned really quick that from now on I will always play the first dance unless it's obviously something super special. I have a lot of time. I'll play the first dance, you know, for them. Over the iPod and not something that I just kind of think I'll piece together. So I mentioned to you that I grew up singing in church, man, and I would always, you know, I'd grab the songs and if I didn't know them, I'd kind of practice them, then jump up there and sing in front of church or whatever and do the thing. Well, I thought I could do that with a first dance song that I'd never heard before, and it happened to be like an Ed Sheeran song or something, man.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh, I don't even truly remember because I really try to block that out. But man, I'm telling you, like, I forgot the words, butchered it, and the bride and groom. I mean, it gives me makes me start sweating to talk about.
Oh man, dude,
but,
yeah.
The bride and groom is kind of like I could just see her glaring into my soul.
There ain't nothing worse than a pissed off bride, man.
Right, and brother, what do you do with that? Like, do I just say like, sorry, I messed it up? Like, video cameras on you, like people.
Yeah,
this is their moment, dude.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, man, it was absolutely awful. Just kind of the last thing that I just got to the end of the song as fast as I could, and I couldn't really. There was nothing to really say to him as far as an apology goes, and that was probably the hardest part for me. Was just like clearly unprepared for that at all.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't play the rest of it. I just told him that I would sing their first dance, and that was kind of how I was adding to the price of the thing. And man, I knocked off so much money for them on that, but it wasn't worth the money knocking it off for them because it was their time, man. It was their moment. So worst performance would have to be that for sure.
Yeah. The monetary thing only just kind of pads it a little bit, but it's still that, man, that's you only get one first dance, you know? Exactly. That's
Now doing my stuff, man, it's kind of cool because, you know, especially maybe playing a song that's newer or something like that in a listening room or something, I can just make it up on the fly sometimes if I forget lyrics, or I can stop and people understand and things like that. But man, when you're playing a cover of something somebody's asked you to be prepared for it's just nothing comparable to that. So a lot easier with a full band and bandmates to lean in and yell lyrics to me or something. So
yeah, absolutely, 100%, man. That's great. That's great. That's it. I can still I'm sitting here picturing this bride just glaring at you.
I don't like to.
Yeah, like I know it's not something you want to remember really, but I'm like, oh my god, it's kind of embarrassing, dude. All right, moving on. What qualities do you think make a great musician? I don't think I've ever asked this one before. I don't think I've ever got to it.
What a good question. Qualities that make a great musician. I hate to be super cliche about this, but I think their qualities make them great, if that makes sense. You know, back to just owning who you are as a musician and who you are as an artist, and I think it's super important to remain that and remain who you are. Back to the mind stuff too. We can get in our minds, and man, I'm my biggest critic. You know, and we were talking about the social media stuff and making videos, dude. If you saw one video that I've posted, there's 35 to 40 blooper videos in my camera roll of that one video, just because I'm in my mind about it all the time. But man, if I could just grasp who I truly am and let that just kind of come out and stop trying to really be someone else or portray something that I'm not a lot of times, then I think things would probably be a lot easier sometimes. But
Yeah.
I think just someone accepting who they truly are is what makes them a great musician.
You nailed it, man. Because I coach people all the time in that, man. It's like you know, it doesn't matter if you're covering Jason Aldean's song, whatever. It doesn't matter. Make it your own. Like, you know, there's a lot of times chances are Jason Aldean didn't write that song. He made it his own. So you do the same. Don't try to be Jason Aldean. Don't try to be I'm just throwing names out there. Like, don't try to be Charlie. Be you. Make that song, like sing that like that's your song. Do it in your style. And yeah, I coach people on that all the time. Definitely. I think it's hard, especially for new musicians, to get wrapped up in the car karaoke kind of, you know, let's sing along and make myself sound like this person, or kind of, I'm guilty of it. I mean, it happens. So, but yeah, I totally get what you're saying, man. Own it. Believe in yourself, have the confidence in yourself, and make it yours. Make it your own. Sing it like it's yours. Yep. And so, yeah, 100% get it and totally relate to what you're saying, for sure. There was one more I wanted to ask you before we go.
Matt said, I call it capitalizing a cover. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Who said that? Captain
Matt.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, what skills have you? I know we got about 3 minutes left for the top of the hour, but we'll go with this one and then we'll sign off. But what skills have you gained that's helped you perform effectively as a musician?
Skills that I've gained, man, becoming more confident in myself. I have to say that's been one of the biggest. Accepting what I just said is.
Yeah,
I mean, I hate to.
A lot of it boils down to that confidence. I coach that too all the time.
I'm not saying that I, perfectly confident in who I am, but I have, once you start getting albums out and you start getting a sound and you start getting things, man, out into the world, you start realizing like, hey, like this is you, like this is just, accept that. We all have, I'd love to sound like so and so. I'd love to have that sound. Love to have this sound. And I just think that just being confident about it, man, take you a long, long, long way. And that's been one of the biggest things that I've had to overcome. And, hopefully on the upside of that.
Yeah, we are so much alike, man. You answered everything the way I would answer it. I mean, if somebody was asking me, 100%. It really does boil down to confidence a lot. And once you get that up here and let this resonate here,
I love that.
It's great, man. You're yourself, and you can just own it. I love it. So, man, Charlie, I appreciate you coming in, brother. It has been a pleasure talking with you. I look forward to talking with you more, man. You just there was just something about your personality that grabbed me, man. A lot of times when I'm watching people and I'm watching musicians and I'm watching them perform or do a video or something, I can tell there's a kindred spirit almost immediately. So
I appreciate that, and yeah. You're an awesome guy yourself, and I hope to hopefully meet you in Nashville when you come. So
yeah, absolutely, man. I look forward to it, man. I hope you're there, and I hope we get a chance to meet and shake each other's hands and hug each other's necks, whatever. And
brother, this is a beautiful thing you got going on, and it's really, really cool. And I appreciate you having me on.
Awesome, man. I hope to grow it bigger and bigger every day. So man, that's my goal, and I want to do this full time, man. I want to be around my friends. I want to be around musicians. I want to be where my heart is, just like you do with your music. So, guys, before I sign off, if you guys have not checked out my sponsor, I want to thank most of this is possible from Coffee Bean Vet right here. This is a local coffee company here in Oklahoma. He sells nationwide. You can order online, coffeebean.vet. He supports veterans. He's veteran-owned. He supports veterans by two ways. He commissions veterans to sell the coffee and make a commission, and then he gives 10% of his entire company proceeds every year back to veterans. So he's here on TikTok now. I finally convinced him to get a TikTok account and start maybe trying to get some sales off TikTok too, right? So, guys, check him out, Coffee Bean Vet. If you're going to go online and check him out, coffeebean.vet. It's a great cause, and all this is made possible by him. So far, I have more that I'm working on, so I can grow bigger and better. And
You will, brother.
So, yeah, I appreciate you, man. God bless, brother. Hit me up. Let's get together and talk. And I enjoyed the conversation, brother.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for everybody that joined on as well. And happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Thank you guys for coming in, and happy Thanksgiving. And we will see you guys next week.
Thank you, man.
All right. Take it easy.